First of all, I want to say something. And the reason why I want to say this is because the last video that I did, I realized that it helped a lot of people. It healed a lot of people. And not only that, a lot of people call me. And also when I go to the comment section, I feel so proud of myself for sharing my story, because I realize true life story inspire people. Let me give you an example. Do you know that so many men refuse to do the right thing because of what their friends will say? Because what their family members will say. So because of that, they said, no, I cannot do this. You heard me right? Yes. They refuse to do the right thing because I don't want what will my family members say? No, what will Ketku say? No, what will John say? What will my mother-in-law say? What will my friend say? And because of that, they are stuck. They are roaming in poverty because they refuse to do the right thing. And one thing about this thing is, when you refuse to do the right thing, you will still stay there because your destiny is in your hand and you refuse to do the right thing. This is where I find it so difficult. And sometimes I say to myself, do you know sometimes we are the one holding ourselves? I swear to living God, we are the one holding ourselves because we feel like, no, because of what people will say. And your destiny, the gift that God gave you, you refuse to follow it because of what people will say. And one question is this: what people will say, how many people did he help? Because of what my mom will say, how many people did he help? Because of what my sister will say, how many people did he help? Because of what my friends will say, how many people did he help? Instead, it's doing what? It's bringing you down. Now, let me go straight to the point. The reason why I'm saying this is, when my wife relocated to Austria, she saw how I was struggling. And she said to me, Nkem, can we start content? One good thing about me is this: anything that will make my wife happy, I am there. It doesn't matter. Even though at that particular time I knew it was very, very difficult because I work 12 hours, Monday to Sunday. So there is no time for me to do that. But do you know the funny part of it? Anytime I comes back, by 12 midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., my wife will say, please, let's just do it. You know, you don't have time. You know, it's just short video. It's just short video. I will say, okay, no problem. I'll just do it for her. And I was doing it for her. I was not doing it for me. I was doing it just to make sure that my wife is happy. Because that is the only way I can support her. Do you know that 2019, it is very difficult, very rare to see a Nigerian man creating content on Facebook with his wife? Go and check it. 2019, show me the person that is creating content with his wife. So because of that, it was really very difficult for me. But because I have it in my mindset, if my wife is happy, I will be happy. The children will be happy. And I said, no problem. In that way, I sacrificed my own happiness just to make sure that my wife is happy. Because I knew that particular time, if she is happy, I am happy. My children will be happy. Now, we started doing the content. That is where the problem starts. What my friends will say, what my family will say, what my wife family members will say, that is where the point starts. And they did. You can imagine now there is money on Facebook, yeah? So some people will just go into it. So many people will go into it. And people will be, you know, you can imagine then 2019 when, I repeat, I was one of the first man to doing content on Facebook with his wife. Go and if you think I'm lying, quote me wrong. As far as couple is concerned, Nigeria as a whole, I was one of the first man to start creating content with his wife on Facebook. Now, people start coming. I'm not trying to make a point. That what people will say, what family will say, start coming. Do you know that people are coming on my comment section? Is this the reason why you left Nigeria? Is this the reason why you are in Austria? So many people are even calling me a lost Igbo man. Do you know that some people are even calling me Hausa man? Because they knew sometimes, I speak Hausa. Some people even said this is not fully blood Igbo man. Because I was dancing, pranking, creating some content with my wife. So they see it as somebody who has lost focus. Now you can see where why I said some people have lost it because of what people will say. But at that particular time, I was like this. I never allowed it to enter into me. Friends were discussing about me everywhere. Friends were discussing about me everywhere on a negative way. See what Ihone Zuzu. He is fooling himself. Uncles, cousins, brothers, sisters, friends, they are all talking. But one good thing about life is this. Among all those people, there must be one person that you trust. And that person will support you no matter what you are doing. And I have that person, who is my younger brother. I called him one day. I said to him, bro, my brothers, cousins, sister, nephews, niece, friends are saying so many things about me, and it's getting on me. I want to block everybody so that I can have sign of relief. And what's out of it? None of them is liking, sharing, none. Just only my younger brother among all my relatives and my wife's relatives. But my younger brother told me something that I always preach to every young content creator. He said to me, if blocking them will make you happy, then block them. But you have to understand, not everybody will like you because they don't know where you are going. When you get there, my God, my God. He said, when you get there, they will now come back, not as family members, but as fans. He said that it was still because I was burning, still because I was hot. I said, I understand you, bro, but I have to block. I went ahead and blocked every family members of mine. I wanted to block my younger sister. My wife said, no, please don't do that. Let me call her. She called my only younger sister. She lives in Canada. My wife called her. See, your brother is not happy with you, because you are not being supportive. He sees it that when you guys are not at least liking, comment, or even share, or even when you call him, you speak with him every day, but you never encourage him. So he feel like you are seeing him as fool. So my younger sister said, okay, so sorry, no problem. Then the first review on my Facebook page was my younger sister. She went and wrote a review about my page. That was 2020. And that is how I did not block her. So let me continue. We started the content creating. First, you have to understand, I was working so hard to make sure that I can be able to pay the bills. Even though at the end of the month, I don't have nothing. They pay me, I pay bills, I got my salary is about 1,500 euros that time. My house rent is about 870 euros. When I pay 870 euros, then my light bill was about 150 euros. Yeah? Then I have to pay my, what's it called? Transport fare. I have to pay my wife transport fare. Then children have to eat. You understand? And I also have to eat. People at home, my wife's mom, I have to take care of her also. And my elder brother who is blind, I am also the one taking care of him. Now you can imagine the burden. And still, I have to also make sure to create space to create content with my wife. We kept doing that passionately. No money, no nothing. Because I want to make my wife happy. This is what she wants to do. Until one day, this is where it started getting interesting. Until one day, my mentor, I will say his name here. His name is James Iwilo. My mentor, his name is James Iwilo. He called me one day, 2020, when we started this journey, about 2 or 3 months. He said to me, what you guys are doing is beyond remarkable. You guys are doing well. But there is one problem you guys are having. I said, what is the problem? He said, you are doing it like they are forcing you. I said, how? He said, see your wife. Your wife is she's completely doing it freely, but you are doing it like somebody they are forcing. When he said that, in short, he spoke to me for more than 1 hour, 30 minutes. After he dropped the phone, I sat down because then I was working as a security, so I have a lot of time, unless when I go to a work where I have to stand by the door. But when I'm working in a factory or in a company or in a construction company, then I'm alone. So luckily that time I was working in a construction company, so I was alone. So I talked about what he said for completely 1 hour. I was just trying to meditate what this young man said. Now you can understand that all my family members, friends are blocked. But this mentor of mine that I never believe in my life that is watching took his time, called me on the phone, and believe me guys, that was the turning point of my life. That phone call, that's why sometimes people say that phone call, glory be to God. I swear to my living God, it's only God that can do this. That's why they say a phone call can turn your life around. That was the turning point of my life. After he dropped that call, I sat down, think about my life from beginning to end. I said to myself, if James can call me 2-3 months into our content creating, he calls me and be telling me that what we are doing is inspiring people around the world. It's motivating people around the world. I said to myself, really? But I sat down. From that moment, asked my wife. From that moment, because before when we started, my wife is the director, she's the producer, she's the editor, she's brother, name it. The only thing I do is when she finishes, I post. 3 hours later, I wrote 4 stories that we will shoot. See, even though that people said that marriage is scam, marriage is this, we try to make people understand that marriage is not scam. Based on who you marry. And again, it's not always based on who you marry. It's always based on the man himself, because you as a man, you went and married someone who you don't know from Adam. You brought her home. You are the one now to start nurturing that woman. Reason, you nurture her because the way you nurture her is the way she will respond. If you take her as you take yourself, she will take you perfectly as you take yourself. Okay? So if you treat your wife the way you want her to treat you, 1,000,000% she will treat you the way she wants you to treat her. There are so many things that I will say that will inspire a lot of people about my marriage with my wife. And I think it's time for me to start talking. Because that last video that I did shows me how important it is for someone to use his life experience to tell people. Because when you are doing it, a lot of people are listening to it. And there are so many people who are in that particular situation at that particular time. They will use it, digest it, they will listen to it and digest it. Then they will understand if God has done it to Ugoiglet, who are they? God will definitely do it for them. Now, after James Iguilo spoke to me, I listened to it, I meditate, I talked about it. I started writing stories. That is when I understand that I even have a gift. 2020, 3 months after we started, that is when I even understand that I have a gift of, when I close my eyes like this, open, I have a story to tell. I have a story to make. I have an idea to put out. From that day, my wife stopped bringing stories. I saved her the stress of bringing story. I started learning how to edit. I edit, I direct. My wife calls me now Mr. Director. Only people that are working with me now will understand what I'm saying. I never knew in my life that I have a gift until this phone call that my mentor called. That 1 hour, 30 minutes speech. I will call it speech because, you know, when you are listening to somebody without talking, when he's talking, you are just digesting whatever he's saying. That was what was going on at that particular time in my life. When I came back, I went straight home. Because I wrote about 4 stories. I dropped it to my wife. She was like, "Wow, where did you see this story?" Oh God. God is a merciful God. You just need to understand that anything you are doing in this life, I have a lot to share. Anything you are doing in this life, God first. And that is how I started bringing story. And you know, one good thing about this life is when 2 are gathered, God said he's in their midst. Not only that, you know, when your wife is the brain that started something, and you as a man, you manage to cope in, that business will eventually move. Not only that, when you, my God, anything you are doing in this life, have that mindset of, I call it, don't be selfish. Don't be selfish. Some people will not understand why I said don't be selfish. If, God, this life, all I can say is that, God, let me continue. So, from that day, I started doing what? I started bringing stories. And we keep going. The fear of what people can do disappear. The fear of what people can say disappear because I already blocked my family members. The fear of what my relatives, what my in-laws, what my nephews, cousin will talk, I have already blocked everybody. So now, I'm now facing neutral people who don't know me and who I don't even know. So I'm trying to do what? Trying to be me at that particular time. That is how I defeated that devil. Because my brother said something. When we started, you know, last story I said that the first person I called when we saw $24,000 was my younger brother. And he said to me, I told you, people don't know where you are going. You alone know where you are going. And when you get there, they will not come back as fans. They will come back. They will not come back as relatives. They will come back as fans. And this is how it is. He said to me, when I told him about that, he said, bro, this is generation breakthrough. I told you guys how I was building a house for 7 good years. Even though I was living abroad for 14 years, I was building my house for 7 good years. So what I'm trying to say is this. So many people hold their destiny because of what people will say. Now, do you know, even at that, people were writing a lot of insult on the comment section. Is this why you are in Austria? You are not an Igbo man. You are, in short, you are 60% an Hausa man. You are this, you know, family members. This is what he went to Austria to do. Now he's dancing like this. He is doing this. He's doing that. So many things. In beer parlor, they are discussing Ugoigle. In church, they are discussing me. Outside anywhere, in schools, they are discussing me. Not in a positive way. In shops, in the market, they are discussing me in a negative way. But because I know where I'm going. Today, all those people that are discussing me in a negative way, all of them from beginning to Z are now my fans. God is great. God is a merciful God. All those people that are discussing me in a negative way, those days, all those people that said he is fool, all those people that said, is this what he was sent abroad to do? My best friend came to me. He said to me, please, is this the reason why you relocated your wife and your children to Austria? You are losing focus. Why will you be doing this on social media? Do you want to put your wife out there? Oh God. Do you know that is the first and last I spoke to that guy till today? This guy is one of my best friends. I said to him, bro, I don't understand what you are saying. He said, why will you do that? Why will you put your wife on social media? Don't you know you will lose her? How can you put that sweet girl on social media? I said to him, bro, this is my wife, yeah? He said, yes. I said, if I lose her, does it matter to you? When I want to look at my wife here, I was struggling with money. I came to you. Did you give me money? You told me a story that you don't have money. So now, because she's here, and now you want to tell me how to... My God. Short, to cut the story short, that was the last time I spoke to that guy. But today, that same guy, anytime he see me, he said, I know you will do it. The spirit of what friends will say, what family will say, what relative will say, is the worst thing that can happen to any man. Because it will hold you like this. And there's no way you can come out from it, because you are the person holding your destiny. You refused to allow your destiny to manifest. In all this, I will continue to give glory to God, because He's the only one that made me from beginning to understand that this is my wife. Treat her the way you want to be treated. And that's why the first thing in my life is for my wife to be happy. Anything that will make her to be happy, I give it. I give it, because when she's happy, that is my philosophy. My philosophy is, when my wife is happy, I will be happy. My children will be happy. Finish. Finish. And today, I'm reaping the fruit of that. That's why I said, let me talk about it. Because there are so many people who are in that situation right now, that they are holding their destiny because of what people will say, because of what their relative will say, because of what their parents will say, because of what their in-laws will say. And they are still like this. They can't even move. They can't even do anything, because they are the one holding their destiny because of what people will say. My God, I'm not laughing, but I'm just laughing at my situation those days. So, my brothers and sisters, what people will say, what brothers will say, what relatives will say, he hammered me. He was like this to me until I blocked everybody. You can imagine, in short, put myself in your shoe, you will know what I went through for me to say, no, I will block. Even my younger sister, we have only one sister, only one. You can imagine me, and let me be honest, that my younger sister, we talk every day. We talk every day of my life. If up to today, even till today, we talk every day. But I wanted to block her. I said, no, I will block you on social media. Well, you can still be talking. Because we are talking every day, but you never for one day say, you guys are doing well. You must not comment. You must not share. You must not, But I am talking with you every day. When we talk, you don't even say anything about it. And people are calling me from anywhere in the world. You guys are doing well. You guys are doing this. But the family members see you as fool. Until when God said, time has come. It's my wife. My wife called my younger sister and tell her, please, please, my wife. My first review on my page, Ugoigla Jensen's page, was my younger sister. She did the first review. And then I said, okay. But others, I block everybody. The spirit of what people will say, what relatives will say, is tying a lot of men destiny. It's tying a lot of men destiny. Once again, your wife is your wife. She's not a maid. She's not an outsider. Listen to her sometimes. Because if I did not listen to my own wife, today I must still be in far Austria, working as a security, standing 12 hours. Sometimes I take only 12 hours like this. Maybe after 4 hours, you go for 10 minutes break, you come back, you stand again. 12 hours, Monday to Sunday. Sometimes, my fellow men, brotherhood, listen to your wife's advice. Because we too know, man, of course, I understand that. We too know. But sometimes that little that they will say might be the push you are looking for. Spirit of what people will say. Let me leave it for now. May Almighty God continue to lift all of us. And for the spirit of what people will say, what relatives will say, may God take it away from our lives. In the mighty name of Jesus, I pray. Amen. It can only be God. It can only be God. Nothing is possible without God. And nothing is impossible because God can do impossible to become possible. Let's go for now. I will still come back because I have so many things to share that will change people's life. Hi! Thank you guys. I remain blessed.